We've talked a ton, guys, about the Gears of War franchise here on the YouTube channel. The big three to me, like one of my top three favorite games of all time, guys. We always talk about it. Number one being COD, Gears, and StarCraft. Three games I absolutely admire in a major way, just from an innovation perspective, from the perspective of storylines, narrative, just so much rich history around the Gears of War franchise. That being said, though, the question we're going to be asking in this segment of the show is, and I've stated this multiple times on the YouTube channel, guys, this is before Halo Infinite even announced a free-to-play multiplayer. My question was, should Gears of War in the future, so Gears 6 in particular, have a free-to-play multiplayer? And I've said for a long time, guys, that Gears of War was more of a niche game. It was kind of like a niche, community and such, a lot of us in this community, we love Gears of War for what it is, but it never got that blow up that a lot of people thought it would. Number one, obviously, what holds it back? Well, number one is that it is specifically an exclusive to Xbox, so that hurts it, obviously. But number two is not only that, you're paying $60 for the game when it comes out, and, number three is, it is a third-person shooter that is very gory, very mature, without question. And so there's certainly a level of a mature audience. Obviously, Call of Duty's mature. Obviously, some of these other titles are mature ratings, but they're not quite on the level of Gears of War where you're blowing limbs off and things of that nature. That being said, Gears of War, in particular Gears 6, should have a free-to-play multiplayer, and it shouldn't even be a question by the Coalition and Xbox at this point in time. Number one is Halo Infinite is blowing up, guys, in ways we've never seen Halo blow up previously, based on a free-to-play early access multiplayer that was released, obviously, by 343 and Xbox. So we see this, another Xbox exclusive, is absolutely doing phenomenal. Now, would Gears of War or Gears 6, would it blow up like this? Probably not, guys. Let's be realistic about it. Halo has a very rich history, and it's more, on the light side. It's not quite as, it's not gory per se. It's a little bit more lighthearted than that of Gears of War, a dark, gritty story, dark, gritty multiplayer experience. Very similar in styles, and this is why I love watching Halo esports and Gears of War esports, is everybody starts with the same weapons. There's power weapons on the map, and you go get those power weapons and you strategize as a team. You have wall bouncing in Gears. With Halo, you've got, all kinds of different elements to that, and this is, in my opinion, two of the best shooters that Xbox has to offer all time. Now, Halo obviously has, already done this, and they kind of laid a foundation. So should the Coalition Xbox follow suit? I absolutely think they should, guys, with Gears 6. I think this would really help Gears of War. It would help Xbox as well, even more. Halo's helping Xbox, but Gears is going to help Xbox as well continue that by having a free-to-play multiplayer. And I don't even think it's close, guys. I think that Gears of War could really, it could do very well by having a free-to-play multiplayer, and at the end of the day, it would bring a lot of people in to at least try the multiplayer experience, because a lot of people probably haven't even given it a try because it's Xbox exclusive, it's this, and this, $60, I'll pay for something else instead of that. But free to play, you're going to have all the big streamers, at least for a period of time, trying it out. You're going to have all the big YouTubers, at least if they're playing it live or whatever the case may be, they're going to give it a try and give their, obviously their thoughts on the title. And what it's going to do is going to build an audience, and it's going to build a good amount of people at least playing the game, and that should really lead us into the future of Gears of War, because we see right now Gears 5, Gears of War 4, and all the titles, if you go on Twitch, the viewership is abysmal. It's not very good whatsoever, but free-to-play multiplayer for Gears, I think you would see those numbers climb in a drastic way. Not saying it would be quite Halo or any of that, But I think this would it would help the whole ecosystem of Gears. It would help the Gears of War just from a player perspective. It would help the esports scene. It would help the campaign. It would help the Coalition continue that legacy and lore moving forward, keep the creative juices flowing. I just think that there is nothing about it that screams to me up issue, because we see Halo and you would just have microtransactions. It justifies the microtransactions because it's free to play. Glassy, you've played Gears. What are your thoughts on, more and more games at least making the multiplayer experience free to play, especially games that are exclusive to a specific console?
So back in the day, especially Xbox 360 and the Xbox One series, Gears was a big thing in the Microsoft community. Whenever it came to Microsoft top tier games, it was Gears and it was Halo. Those two games together, they would have skins for the Xboxes, Xbox exclusives, or you can get a Halo Xbox, or you can get a Gears Xbox. In fact, I had one of those Gears 360s myself. I even have some cog wheels from the Coalition that I got, I guess, from either EB Games or GameStop in the day whenever you racked up enough points. So I was big into the game. If they create a multiplayer that is free to play and you can change up your skins, because obviously, look at the characters. You can add on skins, you can add on chest plates, shoulder plates, leg plates. You can customize your guns, your looks, anything. They have the opportunity and they have the foundation, and obviously they have the fan base. So if they made a free to play multiplayer, I think they'd kill it. I think they'd honestly revamp the Gears series. And if they did that with Gears 6, which I feel is going to happen because everything, like I said, everything comes in threes. So you have a 1, 2, and 3. And not only that, they had a massive cliffhanger on Gears 5. It makes us want to play more. But if they wait too long in between, the fire starts to dwindle out and you've got nothing but some embers. But I think if they make a free-to-play multiplayer before creating the next Gears series, I think they'll kill it and I think they'll do a great job.
Yeah, same. I do. I think that it's on the cusp, and Gears has been on the cusp of greatness for a while. I mean, it certainly, took me by storm when I got the original Xbox 360. The game that came with my 360 was Gears of War, and ever since then, man, it's been one of my favorites of all time. I absolutely love it. I've been captivated by it. I love that they've continued it over the years. I just feel that there are things that obviously have kind of held it back compared to other shooters out there. And I think, like you were saying about the skins, and just, when you have your Lancer and the shotgun and you have all these really cool, they have some of the best skins out there for like a third person title, and it's not even close. Like the things that you can as you're leveling up and such, when going through re-ups and things of that nature, having different skins and different characters, all of that stuff is so awesome in Gears of War, and they're going to continue expanding upon that. I think it could really hit off in a major way if they made it free to play and they kind of put the same amount of marketing and things of that nature that they did into Halo Infinite. I would love to see it. It could be the two big juggernauts of Xbox once again. PlayStation does not have that, by the way, guys. They don't have titles that are like that are really they have titles that are like God of War, The Last of Us, which are awesome, don't get me wrong, but they're single player experiences. We're still waiting for The Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer. God of War, you play it one time or two times and you move on to other games. So it's a lot of times Sony is focused more on the single player experiences, which they're doing very well at, by the way. But Xbox is focused and has IPs that have incredible multiplayer experiences. So you got to do your due diligence and do what you have to do in order to continue expanding these franchises for the foreseeable future. But the question is, guys, I'm going to point it all to you. What do you guys all think? Should Gears 6 have a free-to-play multiplayer similar to that of Halo Infinite? Or should they decide to make it, once again, a $60 price tag? Let us know in the comment section down below. And for more Gears 6 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.